You're watching Escape Adulthood Live, your number one source for long-lasting, fast-acting, physician-approved adultitis relief.
On this episode, we're talking about the difference between being childlike and childish, and the best approach for dealing with worst-case scenarios.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. This episode is brought to you by people like Kara Tracy, Lynn Carter, and Jackie Ward. Their membership in the Wonder and Whimsy Society supports us in this work to fight adultitis.
Yes, if you would like to annihilate the adultitis in your life, learn more about the Wonder and Whimsy Society, or be the first among us to learn about our newest offerings, please become an insider. escapeadulthood.com/subscribe. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yes, it is great
Happy
to be
Hump Day.
Man, it feels like forever since I've been here. Just one
You
week off.
skip a week. Well, we're so used to
off.
doing it every week. So what's the deal with this car thing tonight?
I'm curious. I wanted to know
curious.
what people, we're going to talk about cars a little bit because I have a little note to share from our date night last night.
Not your and I date night.
No,
Yeah,
I took another female, another girl on a date.
Boy, did she look pretty too. She was pretty excited, wasn't she?
Jill says, my first car, 1962 Ford Falcon. Her name was Fifi.
Hey, that's a good connector to our show a couple weeks ago about naming cars. Fifi.
How about Martha
Ford.
took some amazing trips in Plymouth station wagons, sitting up in the back seat.
Right?
That faced backwards with my family growing up. Yeah, we had one of those as well. Something.
The big door that opens and the window that went down in the back.
Yep. 1973 Gold Duster.
Ooh.
How about that?
That's pretty sweet.
Heather, they rented a Mustang convertible once, and that was fun.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yes. I believe we did that too, right? Down in the Keys?
Yes, we did.
Florida Keys.
Yes, we did. Got some good. Yeah, so we're talking a little about cars because last night I went on a date night with our youngest daughter, Ginny Rose, who you all know. She filled in admirably last week on Let's Draw.
Yes,
as she does.
She is really liking that, you guys. And so thanks for those people who sent in the pictures, because honestly, that just meant the world to her to see her artwork being shared.
Yeah,
so.
She does a great job. And so, she was all gussied up yesterday. Yeah. She had a little makeup and a nice little
eyeshadow.
Nice dress. She was looking good. And we got to talking at dinner. And we were playing the Yellow Car Life game. So we have a little bit of a game. Well,
we have a number of games.
We should talk about Porch Life.
Yes.
We have a game as a family that we play Porch Life. So here in Sheboygan, we've noticed that people really love their front porches.
Yeah.
They are very gussied up, as it were. That's going to be my word of the day,
whimsical.
gussied up.
Right.
And so there's just the style of homes. There's a lot of front porches, and so there aren't often people on them. So we decided to play a game that when we see someone on front porch, the person yells Porch Life, and then you get a point for however many people are on the porch.
Yes.
There's another version that we call Yellow Car Life. So if you see a yellow car, I think Ginny invented that one. And so I said, let's play Yellow Car Life, because I knew we had a little bit of a drive to where we were going. So I said, whoever wins gets the most by the time we get to the restaurant. So that being said, all this to say, we get on our date night, we're eating dinner, and we're talking about cars, and she's curious what is the most popular car color, and she assumed it was either red or blue.
Aww.
And unfortunately, I had to tell
I love
her.
that she assumes that.
I know. I had to tell her that adults are boring as hell, and that the top car colors are some variation of black and white. So I think silver, gray, black, white.
Which one am I looking
for
here?
I'll wait.
No, I don't know if I have it. No. Do I have the da-na-na-na?
That one? Yeah, it's right there. Thanks for keeping up with us, sir.
Help me
right
out.
There.
Oh, okay. You should see the picture on this. It's very unclear. All right. There you go. Keep going.
Anywho, I had to break her innocence.
Aww.
That adults are boring, and so we were talking about cars and car colors and how there should be different car colors, and we were actually saying that it would be cool if you could Well, I had the idea of like if you could get a white car with it came with special markers, and then you could color it like a coloring book, however you wanted.
Cool. Yeah.
And then we were
DIY
talking
car.
Yeah, we were talking about that they should sell cars where you can get any color, and you could get patterns. So you wanted flower patterns or polka dots or something like that.
Listen up, car companies. I mean, polka dots.
Yeah,
right?
I thought that was kind of a fun little discussion we were talking about, and.
Talk about innovation.
She said that when she gets older, she's going to have a car for herself that's yellow. It's going to be a smart car. But she's also planning to have 10 children, and so they won't fit in that.
Yeah.
So she'll have something bigger that'll probably be gray, she said. So.
That would probably be gray. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. No, I take that back. She said blue. She said blue. It'll be a bluish color.
Well, in the defense of adults, can I just say we recently purchased a car, and it is a fact, Rachel and I were talking about this, that it costs a lot more money to get a fun color. So maybe it's adultitis, or maybe it's just people don't want to spend that much on a car. They're expensive as it is. We had that conversation, right?
Well, yeah, but I think car manufacturers should loosen up. I mean, you see those old cars, some of the ones you guys are talking about here.
Pricey.
Some of those old cars are so rad, and all of the cars now are it's the same car with a slightly different curve to it.
Oh, so. Helen, I love your advice. A yellow bus is what she might want for her 10 children.
That would probably work out pretty good.
That is a really smart way to handle that.
Yeah. So, I thought it would be kind of fun. You started something last week because we weren't sure exactly if I was going to be able to be on with you remotely or whatever.
Yeah. We were hoping for better Wi-Fi.
You were asking for questions. And so I thought that was kind of a cool thing when we got some people who shared some questions. So I thought we'd take a couple of them and we would save some others for a rainy day. But I thought that would be kind of a neat new segment. So let's do that.
Hey, new bumper.
Like
that?
Was the
first time seeing that. That's pretty sharp.
So if you, we have two here that I was going to do, but I would also like to take one from the Peanut Gallery who's watching live. So if you have a question, let's see, make it easier for me to see it in the comments. Put a question mark in front of it, and maybe we'll have a chance to get to it. But the first one comes from Carolyn Strait, and this was a very, very, very good one. I was thinking this segment we could do some serious, some silly, kind of mix it up a little bit. So hers is a little bit more serious, but thought it was a good one to kick off. She said, how would you describe the difference? How would you define the difference between being childlike and childish?
Ooh, that's good. This is interesting coming from Carolyn because one of the most recent memories I have of a shared experience with Carolyn is doing the chicken dance with her at the polka party at the first night of the summit. So the idea of childlike, childish, you tell me, what's the chicken dance?
Well, that's just it. I think the context is important, isn't it? Like,
the context is important. Doing the chicken dance at work in a meeting and you're the only one
and big client is there and you're trying to seal the deal, maybe not great.
Right.
I definitely would say that if you're not sure, anyone that has a husband probably knows the difference, right?
That was like one of your big laugh lines in your...
You just laughed right now.
I know, but it
still works. Still got it.
That's been a punchline for a while.
So obviously one of the things that we are very big on here is that we encourage people to be childlike, not childish. I don't know. For me, what comes to mind is I think of tantrums. Like when I think of a little kid throwing a tantrum, that's obviously very childish, and sometimes we see adults doing the exact same thing. Right?
I witnessed an adult tantrum last night. I'm not going to get into politics, but we did view a virtual school board meeting.
That was enlightening.
And it did run from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. And there was some hot topics involved, and there were some adult tantrums.
Yeah.
On all sides.
Yeah, it was pretty pretty eye-opening. But
Yes.
yeah, so I think...
So there's a line where when you don't get your way as a grown-up, how do you react, right? And
Yeah.
Martha said the exact same thing. No tantrums if you're childlike.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so for me, being childlike is you look at what are the best qualities of children, the things that were kind of like baked in from the beginning. So I think a sense of wonder, delighting in little things. If you subscribe to The Insider, last week I talked about Las Vegas and how it's sort of the opposite. It's like everything is bigger and more and lavish. And being able to just appreciate small things is very childlike. I think the ability to dream big, the ability to be curious, to be playful, honesty is another one. I think kids are devastatingly honest sometimes.
Nerve-wrackingly honest.
Yeah.
Like, did you just say that? Yeah, that is probably true. Yeah.
Being passionate. Little kids are passionate about life. And so I think obviously then you look at the opposite of that, and that's adultitis is what that is. But yeah, what would you say like is childish? Like what would be like traits? We talked about like the tantrum.
Yeah. Well, I think adult tantrums, obviously you can think of the most obvious ones. We see them on Facebook all the time, social media, right? Where people are kind of fighting and whining. But I think in person, I definitely have I have a very low, if not zero tolerance for people who are trying to get your attention by the way they're acting instead of using their words. Because as a kindergarten teacher, that was a very common phrase that I would tell our 5 and 6-year-olds in the classroom is like, use your words. How does that make you feel? I feel frustrated that he stepped on my foot on purpose. I feel mad, right? These are just basic like emotional communication styles that you teach as what you learned in kindergarten. This is not often practiced in the adult world, especially like at the grocery store or something, or maybe, like road rage kind of stuff where there's no ability to actually communicate real emotion. It's just all, kind of, maybe that goes into tantrums again, but I'm thinking more of like, what's the word? Kind of like drama.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Brian points out complaining. That's a
Yes.
good one of that.
Right.
Sharon says, I find people have tantrums when they don't feel heard. And that is often true, whether they don't feel heard or they're hurt or angry. Sometimes
so going
that comes
back
out.
to the I feel statement, right? Like I feel, and then I don't say I feel you're wrong. It's like I feel frustrated. I feel mad. I feel sad. These are like actually adult things that we can do. I know Jennifer Taggart's probably raising her head like, yes, the art therapist here. But
yeah, Jennifer says, I played Baby Shark for guys at the end of group today, and they laughed so much. So that's kind of the magic, is knowing when to push the envelope a little bit. Because sometimes there is that, and I would say that's the childish sometimes, is when you can never be serious, when you're always sort of acting out and you can't actually get deep. You can't be vulnerable. I think it's very childlike to be vulnerable.
Right.
And so there's a fine line to, push the envelope to really encourage people to get out of their doldrums, as it were.
Brenda's hitting on a very good side of this too. The entitlement, the bullying. I mean, right? This reminds us of 3rd grade, but honestly, this happens all the time. And adult bullying is something that is a part of adultitis. It's actually way worse than I think people give it credit for. And I don't think people use the right label for it. I think that adult bullying is a huge problem.
Yeah. The inability to listen. I think it's so funny in our politicized climate. Everyone is quick to say, you need to be open to the other side. But then those people are not actually open to the other side. It's like they basically want, like, you need to listen to me. That's code for like, you need to be open to all points of view is code for listen to my point of view because I'm right,
I think Sharon's hitting on a good distinction of semantics here. Childish focuses on self and childlike focuses on everyone. That's good. That's a really good summary.
I like Helen's too. Childlike is seeing joy and wonder around you and falling in love with it.
Ooh, I love that, Helen. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So we did get a couple more questions. You want to grab those before they go up too far?
Yeah, well, we could do that. Let's see.
It was kind of towards the beginning.
Yeah.
So thank you for
let's do
in there, guys.
Brenda. Brenda asks, how did you come to the conclusion that 93% was the perfect amount of weird? For context of that, we have I guess a story and a philosophy that you want to be about 93. That weird is good, first of all. That weird is good. Sort of like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Weird is good.
Yeah.
He was made fun of for being weird, but it ended up saving the day. And so, but there is a level of too weird, right?
Right.
When you are, have 85 cats and you dress them all up to look like Taylor Swift. That's kind of a little bit too weird.
Is that 94?
That's 94. Yeah. So I don't know. It was like at dinner time one time.
Yeah.
And
Do you
we
know
just,
was it me
I
or
don't remember
you?
how it came out, but we just randomly kind of said, like, you want to be pretty weird, but not too weird. And I think 93 just came out and it felt right. It felt right. And
it did feel right. Because you definitely have to have enough percentages to get to 100. You know, we could have said 99.
You gotta have some levels, yeah.
Right. I think it allowed us to play in that range of like, there is a gap between the right amount of weird and extreme weird.
Yeah, you could go just a little bit over, or you can go a lot over, and we need to have that distinction.
Right.
But the 90s felt about right.
Yeah.
All right, I have one more here.
It.
This is from. Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 guesses of who this is from, and the first 2 don't count. This is a Wonder and Whimsy Society member.
Okay.
It's actually a patron, so now I've just ruined it.
Oh, jeez.
She wants to know, what is your favorite McDonald's menu item?
Who could this be? I wonder if she's downtown tonight.
Julie Brown works for McDonald's. She is a huge fan.
Are we allowed to say that, by the way? Can we reverse time?
I think it's...
Is that public knowledge?
I think
it is now.
I think she's fairly open about that.
Okay.
She's a huge fan.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
She wants to know, what is our favorite McDonald's menu item. So we went from deep to deeper.
Oh, is yours like obvious?
I like.
Arby's.
I actually thought about this a little bit, and I was like, you know what I like a lot, but I rarely get is a Big Mac.
Oh, I've never seen you get a Big Mac
I've gotten
in our whole life.
Probably
together.
a handful of times in my life. But
Yeah.
I shy away from them because of the calorie content. But
Can I say my Big Mac story?
Yeah.
All right. So when I was like 5 or 6, my grandma Miller took us to McDonald's. She was babysitting us, which was pretty rare because she had like 100 grandchildren. Okay. But she was babysitting us. We went to McDonald's, and I remember standing, looking up, and she's like, "What do you want, Kim?" And I said, "I'll take a Big Mac." I was like 5, and I've never had a Big Mac, never tried a Big Mac. My mom would never let me get a Big Mac. And of course, my 3 older sisters were like, "She doesn't eat Big Mac. She won't eat it." And my grandma gave me this little look, and she was like, "Would you eat it if I got it for you?" And I was like, "Yes." And so she got me a Big Mac. This sounds like something your dad would do, right? To like actually say yes to that. Yeah. And I hated it, and I did not eat it. So that's my Big Mac story. I did feel shame, but I still chose not to eat it, which is a very 5-year-old, very childish. It was
the dressing, wasn't it? It was the
sauce, dressing. Yeah. It was so gross.
Which is what I like about it. But yeah, so that's good. I mean, I got to say, too, I am an equal opportunity French fry person, but there's something about McDonald's French fries.
I have to say the fries because they're just
What about the Shamrock Shake? Thought you would have said that.
I do like the Shamrock Shake. I'm not going to go into detail, but I do like homemade better. So I like Shamrock Shakes in general, but my mom makes a pretty mean Shamrock Shake. Yeah,
homemade's always better, no matter what it is.
But the French fries, you just can't. Especially, there's just something about the last few in the bag.
Well, how about the first one, the sneak fry?
What's better, the first few or the last few? I don't know.
Yep, Ron, French fries. Right? He's in on French fries. Oh, this is interesting. Martha says, our local tavern made a Big Mac pizza complete with pickles. Sounded so weird, but it was delicious.
Oh, that's fun. I love it when they do the mashups, right? That's awesome.
Good stuff. All right, well.
That was fun.
You know what? I think if anyone has a question, send it to kj@escapeadulthood.com because we will probably do this segment again.
Yeah.
And whether it's a serious question or a silly question, we like to have a little bit of both. So send your questions to kj@escapeadulthood.com and maybe we'll answer it on a future show.
By the way, hello to Ron, who is live tonight. It's fun to see you on here tonight. The Misfit. Ron the Misfit.
Ron the Misfit.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
All right, well, last week...
Oh my God. like a Brady Bunch
I know.
tile
Last week was the reason I wasn't around is because I had a million speaking engagements.
Woohoo!
Some we did some virtually. I had some in person. I was doing a lot of first day of school, like teacher in services.
Teacher in services.
Doing a lot of those.
Big time.
The truth is that the rest of our year is and has been booked up for quite some time.
Yes.
We have zero availability for the rest of 2021.
Yes.
However, we still have a lot of demand, a lot of people who are interested in what we have to offer. And
in fact, we had a speaking lead today for October 8th. I'm like,
yeah, the windows are kind
I
of
know.
small
it's
sometimes.
kind of interesting, but people are having a hard time making decisions right now with events, so it's understandable.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about this new offering that we have called Adultitis Interventions. And basically it is a series of videos in which Kim and I share some fun. We share topics on subject matter like balance and innovation, creativity, burnout, resiliency, things like that. And it was really great for is either people who really love what we're up to and just can't book a date yet and want to have something to kind of wet people's whistle. It's also good for people who have already had us and then want to keep the message going. You know,
for people who don't have an event because of COVID, right? And they're like, we don't know how to keep our people motivated. Yep. And you could just kind of give them these little small doses, these little booster shots.
Yes,
right?
I love that you can, it's kind of, in some ways it's more effective because you can drip them out. Like you could send them in a staff email once a week.
Right.
Or you could show them at a staff meeting and they're like 5 to 8 minutes long. They're not very long, but there's a discussion question that goes with it. There's like an action item. And I'm really excited, and we've been getting some good response from the people who have who've been taking this up on it.
Yeah, it was fun. So, the hardest part was finding all the different outfits.
Yeah, that was.
So that was fun, and you should have seen the floor because we did do some
wardrobe changes.
We did do some group recordings because we weren't going to do 5-minute video and then do so we did like 8 at a time or something like that for our 26. So yeah, definitely pass it along to someone at work or maybe someone you know who just needs something different right now.
Yep. So, check it out at escapeadulthood.com/adultitis interventions.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Well, I recently gave the most nerve-wracking talk of my life. It was in front of my peers at the National Conference for Professional Speakers. It's sort of like performing open heart surgery on another heart surgeon while hundreds and hundreds of other heart surgeons watch. In other words, tough crowd. Well, at my first convention 15 years earlier, I was awestruck by the speakers on the main stage. They were polished, poised, and really, really good. I decided then and there that I wanted to be on that stage someday. Well, this past July, I had my chance. The theme was radical relevance, and Kim and I were selected to kick off the conference partially because of the pivots we made while navigating the pandemic. My goal was to craft a revolutionary talk, one that would be talked about for decades. I envisioned the speech starting out with just me on stage, demonstrating what I did pre-pandemic. And then, in dramatic fashion, the spotlight would shift to a set that was modeled after our virtual in-home studio. I'd walk over, Kim joins me on stage, we'd exhibit our professional pivot in front of a live studio audience, simultaneously broadcasting to the virtual attendees at home. Creative, different, daring, and great in theory. But at rehearsal, things began falling apart fast. I was already concerned that our presentation had too many things that could go wrong. Well, the day before, the biggest speech of my life, they were all going wrong. I always prefer to rely less on technology, not more. But we decided to replicate our in-house set on stage. It involved a fancy DSLR camera on a tripod, my iPad, and more dongles than a herd of milking cows. I was hopeful that since we were on the first speakers on the program, we'd be able to get everything set up, perfectly arranged beforehand, allowing us to have some time to collect ourselves and concentrate on giving a great presentation. Nope. First, we learned we'd only have about 4 minutes to move everything on stage, set up the technology, and position the camera perfectly because a gaggle of fake Elvises Elvi needed the whole stage to perform an opening number. Hey, it was Vegas after all. Then we learned that the lighting was set unchangeable, so no dramatic spotlight moments. No worries, we're professionals. We can let that go. Then came the sound check from hell. You know how sometimes when you're on a phone call and the sound gets wonky and you hear everything you just said a second or two after you say it? Annoying, right? Well, that's what was happening during our sound check. Not only is it impossible to string together anything longer than a sentence when that's going on in your head, but it's also what our sound technician told us we could expect for the entirety of our joint presentation. Yeah, he said matter-of-factly, because we're using Zoom to broadcast to the virtual audience and then piping that feed to the live audience, you're going to hear that delay. There's nothing we can do about it. Oh, cool. Wait, what? I was running contingency plans through my head as Kim and I rehearsed part of our talk, but I was numb. It's hard to imagine more of a nightmare scenario short of having to perform naked. Rehearsal ended with me being extremely less confident than when I began, which is usually the opposite of what you're hoping for. As we walked back to our hotel room, I scrambled to add a few lifeboats to the Titanic. I seriously considered ditching the whole thing and just going out on stage with a microphone. No Kim, no set, no technological moving pieces, 100% dongle free. I said as much to Kim, but then added, and I'd end up regretting not trying it for the rest of my life. She agreed. The rest of the day, I spent it controlling what I could. I strategized ways to move things on stage more quickly. I even started writing an alternative keynote in my head in case it all erupted into a dumpster fire of bad audio and failed technology. The backup speech was actually pretty good too, in my head. If everything went up in flames, I pictured myself abruptly standing up from the set and addressing the audience with some real talk. I'd launch into a stirring speech about how it is our duty to push the envelope of our craft. But even if our efforts fail, we soldier on and make the best of it because we are professional speakers. This dream scenario may or may not have included my colleagues erupting into thunderous applause, rushing the stage to carry me on their shoulders and parade me onto the Las Vegas Strip, and ending with me receiving the key to the city. It felt so real, I started to wonder if it might not even be a better speech than the one I'd spent 3 months crafting. But the pit in my stomach kept suggesting that the very real possibility was that this speech would be talked about for a generation, but for altogether different reasons than I'd hoped. I was pretty sure that I was on the verge of giving the biggest train wreck of a speech that the National Speakers Association had ever witnessed. In reality, the hopeful nature of my alternative ending made me feel a little bit more comfortable because it helped me believe that everything would be okay no matter what. But the thing that squelched my doubts completely was a single, simple thought. No matter what happens, at the end of today, you'll still be married to your best friend, you'll still have 3 amazing kids, and you'll still be living in your dream house on Lake Michigan. It was a truth bomb of perspective, and suddenly, the pressure was off. My nerves were calmed, and I rested easy knowing that if worse came to worse, I could flee Las Vegas in shame, revoke my membership in NSA, and never have to see these people again. But as it turned out, the talk was a massive hit. We got set up in record time. Kim and I managed through the audio challenges without a hitch. The delay was tough, but it made us be more intentional about what we did say, and I think that made the speech more powerful. Plus, it garnered the respect of our peers who knew how difficult it was to pull off. The end of our speech was greeted with a rousing standing ovation. Many people told us it was the perfect way to start the conference as we emerged from the pandemic, and a catchphrase from our speech was echoed by almost every speaker after us. Must be nice. I'm grateful for how things went and the kind response we received, but my biggest takeaway? The reminder that most of the worst case scenarios we face aren't really worst case scenarios at all. Gratitude gives us the perspective to see things as they are. Taking stock of the blessings in my life and focusing on what really mattered helped me see the only thing truly being threatened was my pride and ego. And that made all the difference. When we dare to stare down the monster under the bed, we discover that it shrinks. When you hold your fears up to the light of gratitude, you can watch them melt away in the truth that you are more than your failures and stronger than you think. And for adultitis, that's the ultimate worst case scenario.
Oh, you took me on that roller coaster. I felt like I was riding it again. Oh, man.
How did I do? Did it sum it up
pretty
pretty good?
accurate. I'm like, here we go. Like the big drop, like, you know. Yeah.
Almost got you laughing at one of those slides, didn't I?
Which one?
Chuckling, I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
the
know.
Ben Affleck one. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
There was definitely an emotional roller coaster, but you're right. As soon as we shifted gears with the gratitude and just saying, like, this is such a cool opportunity and we are blessed beyond belief, and whatever happens, it's going to be fine, right? The fears were squelched.
Yeah, it was really a factor of the pride. And it's like just that perspective of, you know, I said at the beginning, it's sort of like doing open heart surgery. Like, that's the whole thing. I wasn't doing open heart surgery. This was not life or death. This was
No.
It didn't really matter all that much.
It's
Like,
almost just entertainment meets inspiration at its finest,
yeah,
right?
and,
but yeah, that was cool. Are you going to share that announcement now or later?
Yeah,
about
I think
this?
we will.
Yeah,
So
this is kind of exciting.
we have a special announcement to make for Wonder and Whimsy Society members. You get the first chance at the world premiere viewing of that talk we just talked about.
We got the recording of it, and
Mhm,
Jason worked on it and has it ready. And how can they view
Well,
it?
as of 8 o'clock this evening, it went live in the private group in the Wonder and Whimsy Society.
So they're going to leave our show and go watch it? Is that
Well,
what you're
it'll be
telling
on
me?
all night. I'm not turning it off. I'm just saying it just now went up, and you can check it out. We will be releasing it to everyone soon, but we wanted to give Wonder and Whimsy Society members, we just closed the doors, welcomed in 70 new members. We're pretty excited about that. So we wanted to give you a little award. And if you got a little time tonight or the next few days, check it out. You can kind of tell, like in the part where we're together, that the audio was a little janky. I tried to clean it up a little bit as best as I could. But the fact remains, it was bad. It was a beast.
It was really bad.
It was
So
hard.
the hybrid, there's a hybrid conference, so there was a virtual audience, watching our screen. So it's just like what you're seeing basically happened live to the virtual audience, which was pretty sweet. But the audio challenges of that were a beast. So yeah, I haven't even seen it yet.
Yeah, but you'll get the deal. You'll see how it went. And there's a little inside baseball stuff because it was an audience for speakers. But the general message, I think, holds up pretty good for anybody. So I'm excited to share that with you guys, and hope you'll get
Stephen
a chance
likes
to check it out.
our jargon, the technical jargon, janky.
Janky.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You
nothing
like
worse
that?
than janky technology. So speaking of janky technology, hopefully this is not janky. Get out something to draw with and something to draw on. Let's draw. All right, you guys, I thought we'd have a little bit of fun tonight. One of my favorite things to do with these drawings is to create something that is a bit of a blank canvas for you, because I love to see your customizations. I love to see what you add to it.
That's my favorite part too.
We're gonna do something similar tonight. So we start out tonight, just like I said, something to draw with, something to draw on. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. And we're gonna start out in the middle of our page with a line. Just like that. All right. And then I'm going to draw a couple more lines. I'm going to draw a slanty line coming down like this. And I'm going to draw another slanty line on the other side, but it's going to be a little bit more rounded. Kind of like that. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line, not at the very bottom, but just kind of a little bit up. Let's see if I can do this straight line.
Oh,
did that.
tech.
Awesome.
When tech plays nice.
Not janky.
What about your top line? Is it too late for that?
Yeah. It's okay. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bump over here. Okay. And I'm going to draw two little lines in there just like that.
Some people are guessing boat. Kate is
Not a
saying,
bad
wondering
guess.
if it's a boat-shaped cheese head.
Interesting.
Very Green Bay-ish.
Very specific, yes. Tell me where you live without telling me where you live. All right, now I'm going to draw some more elongated bumps, 2 of them up here.
Janky teacup. Nice.
It does, yeah. It's like squished.
With that top crooked line that's going to bother me all night.
All right, now we're gonna do a little line right there. Okay, and then another line right here. Not as long. We're gonna kind of tilt it down a little bit.
It's
And then
really strange.
We're gonna connect this with a slanty down line.
Slanty down line.
Okay, again, technical.
Mm-hmm.
I draw a line right here. Okay. And then we're going to draw another line across the top like that. Might be coming together here. Now we're going to draw is a couple circles, and this is going to really pull it together, I think.
Ooh, Martha. You can't keep anything from Martha. She's on it, and she does these every week, so
Yeah,
I
she
know
does.
she's right
So
there.
we got a couple wheels here, just like this.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of customize it based on how big you want the wheels. And then we're going to finish in the bottom here, just with a straight line. Okay. And then we're going to do kind of like a little three-dimensional effect a little bit. I'm going to draw another line up here, not quite as long, and then curve it down like this. So those are like the fins of this kind of rad car. And then we'll put the a line here, kind of coming down like that. So it gives us a little bit of dimension, I guess you could say.
Ron says it looks like the cars he drew as a kid.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I was kind of trying to figure out like what would be kind of a fun car to draw, and like just something that's very kind of unique and not just like your standard car that everyone draws. So we'll put another little line right there for the front, whatever they call that, by the windshield, and then we'll do a little oval here. This is kind of going to represent the door handle. Now, here's the part that I'm excited about, because if you watched the top of the show, if you were here for that, you saw or you heard me talk about my date night with Ginny, and we were talking about, you know, you should be able to have fun colored cars.
Oh, yes.
And so I am definitely a sucker for some of those bright
like teal,
blue, yellow,
aqua,
the kind that they used to have back in the good old days.
Our neighbor had one. It was so cool growing up.
So I'm going to color this in a little bit, and I'm going to give you guys a couple little tips here to take it to the next level.
Jennifer Tackett says, how about tie-dye? Wouldn't that be
Well,
cool?
there you go. I want to see that,
That's
Jennifer.
right along
Okay.
Rose thinking, I think, with the patterns, right?
I'm going to give this like a little a white top here.
By the way, this is totally Jason as artist, but that you always pick a background color that looks cool with the color that you have that you're using.
Yeah, kind of intentional.
I
yeah.
know, but
And I also try to mix it up. So you'll notice I don't do like red and then red. Okay, so here's one thing. If you have a colored background color, is if you go a little bit darker for the window, it'll give it the appearance of it being translucent, but still kind of, you know, like how you can't see perfectly inside. And maybe I would even take a darker thing and I'll draw a person in there.
So if you were to give this car a smiley face, where would you do it?
I don't know that I would.
Okay.
I'd probably do it in the front, and it's not a very...
Okay, like as if you're facing the front.
Yeah.
The grill.
All right, so we're going to put like our little headlights here in the front, and then these cool tail lights. Again, they just don't make them.
Yeah, so much character.
So what's going to make this pop out is just like little dots there. And then if you do some lighter shading, again, a little bit lighter than whatever your color is, and then just give a line off from the top here. It's going to give it a slightly shiny, a little bit of that shiny look. And I might even do it right here too, if this is like one of those, like a molding panel that's kind of sticking out. But here's the part, like this is where I really want you to take it next level, is it doesn't have to be solid color. right? What if this car had polka dots or something?
Nice.
Like I was thinking, like that would be pretty cool if it wasn't just like what color you could get, but you could get patterns, right? So you could get like a Cubs logo tiled around, right?
You know who's going to love this polka dotted car is Hildy, one of our Wonder and Whimsy Society members, Hildy Fiend. She told me recently that she loves dots. She loves polka dots. This is going to make her very happy.
I mean, you
rad.
could do, camouflage. There's a lot of different options here. And then we'll do this. Let's do a little Dukes of Hazzard going on here.
You know what kind of makes me frustrated is when I see someone who tried to paint their car cool, like using regular paints, and I could kind of see the vision they were going for, but it didn't. Like whenever you try to paint a car with real paint,
yeah, you got to know what you're doing.
Not gonna work, right? And it's like I'm pretty forgiving for the creative aspect of things, but it just doesn't. There's something about the shine, right, of the paint.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Now,
work.
a couple other little tips here. So if you see, I did this levitation, but I tilted it.
Thelma and Louise.
I tilted it, so now it looks like it's going downhill, and it just keeps going.
That's awesome.
Some other little things you can do is I'll draw little just dots, and it's sort of like dirt that's flying up, just to give it again the sense of motion. You might draw some motion lines like this.
Can you do flames for Helen?
Flames. Helen can do flames.
Oh, challenge! Oh yeah, that's cool.
We've got we're going here, and there we go. So there's a little bit of a silly paint job.
I can't wait to see what you guys do to add your own whimsical flair. Right?
Yes, please join in by sending your drawing to us. We definitely want to see it. And we've got a bunch.
Oh man,
we didn't get to show off.
Your Jack, he's so cute.
We didn't get to show off last week some of the drawings, so we've got several weeks worth of stuff piled up. Here are a few highlights. A few weeks ago, we did the Day of the Dead skull, and Elle came strong with this.
Yes, she did.
Mike, big time. Dia de los Martis. See what he did there?
Mike.
So he's got some combo things. He's got Marty going on. He's got a monkey in there because that was another one from a few weeks earlier. He's got the Day of the Dead. It's like basically took
spider web on his head.
He took 3 Let's Draws, combined them together, and
this is what animated, happens. Wasn't it?
I think it was.
It was.
Yeah, he sends animated ones every once in a while. I don't remember which ones are which. But, so that was pretty cool. And then we did crayons not that long ago.
Yeah,
and
I think this was the first drawing
I love this. I think it was too. I wanted to shout out to Jane because I especially love it when people literally take whatever is around them. And just go with it. That's what I love.
Right.
So that's a good one. And then of course, Ginny last week did the apple with the little worm coming out.
Yes, that is so cute, Martha. I love the colors.
Martha did that with that, and then as she's prone to do, Jennifer then took it to the next level. She always incorporates Marty into it.
Has her Wonder Marty.
But you look close. She's got the apple. She's got the worm.
So cute.
And it's pretty
Marty Appleseed.
Pretty good stuff there. So. Love it, you guys.
It's fun. Thank you for sending those in, you guys. And please, let's see your cars this week, okay? And it is so neat to see some different names popping up. So Ron, right? I want to see yours this week. Should we call people out? Like, I mean...
It's like Romper Room.
I know. I triple dog dare Ron.
I see Kate. Has Kate... I feel like Kate may have sent something in before. But
she did.
It's maybe been a while. So
yeah.
Get on it, Kate. Let's go.
Brenda. I know. We're looking at the names of Brenda.
Who else we got?
Steven. Yeah. We haven't seen Stevens in a while.
I've got a lot of Stevens.
Okay.
Stevens, he does every week. But we get a lot. I want to get new people in there. But we'll have Steven next week for sure.
Yes.
So please send it to KJ@escapeadulthood.com. All right, you guys, meme of the week. Who says teaching is stressful? I'm 39. I feel great. Had to throw this out there for the, having been with a whole slew of teachers last week. Big props to you guys, not only for the year that you've been through and all of the juggling and pivoting and crazy. I mean, they basically, they're teachers, they're AV professionals, they're IT professionals, they're counselors. It was a beast. And as we know, many schools are still struggling to get back to some sort of normalcy. There's a lot of challenges in just the different school districts doing things a different way, and so it continues. And so shout out to all of the educational professionals who are there.
We appreciate
doing their best. At least they get paid $1 million a year to do it.
That's why they got into it.
It's deservedly so. Oh wait, no, that's Aaron Rodgers. I forgot.
Well,
Tom Cruise.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, she'll go off. But no, seriously, thank you. You know who you are for all that you do. And this week we've got a Adultitis Fighter of the Month to talk about. Man. We're a day late, technically.
This was August.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Adultitis Fighter of the Month.
Sharon.
And it is Sharon Neiman Lundgren, and she's one of my favorite people. She's got such an amazing spirit about her. Here she is with a glass of wine.
Cheers, Sharon.
She's a connoisseur, as it were.
That's on my bucket list, to share wine with Sharon.
To clink glasses with her. Yeah,
that's on my bucket
list.
I've
never met her in person, but hopefully someday.
Right?
But one of the things we do, we are always on the lookout for Adultitis fighters to who inspire us, and we want to hold them up as an example to other people, and always ask some questions to our Adultitis fighters. And one of the things we ask is, what's something you loved doing as a child that you still do in some form today? Mm-hmm. And Sharon had a bunch of things. By the way, you can go to our website, escapeadulthood.com, go to the blog. You'll see every Adultitis fighter we've ever had. I don't even know how many years we've been doing this, but it's been a long time.
And Sharon's on tonight, so that's exciting.
That is pretty cool. We've got a celebrity in the house.
Woohoo!
That's pretty good. What is she?
I don't know if the tea is referring, if
is that
she's
what this
drinking
is?
tea tonight and she's got bourbon in it. I might have missed. The comments go back fast for us sometimes, guys.
Yes. So anyway, we asked her, she had a bunch of things that she loves doing today that she did when she was a kid. But she said, I spent hours as a kid and teen wearing out all the stereos, playing music that I danced to for hours. I still dance any chance I get. I prefer psytrance, 60s and 70s hippie music, and most of all, Duran Duran.
I knew it! Yeah.
Can't go wrong. Dancing is a form of prayer in many cultures because it elevates our consciousness to rise above earthly challenges. I love that sentiment. Oh, and I still sleep with my sock monkey.
Aww.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So then we ask some, hopefully some helpful questions that gives good advice. What is your strategy for dealing with people who are obviously infected with adultitis? She says, encourage them to play. Take them on a fun adventure. And yes, sometimes that may need to involve a couple alcoholic beverages. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do. I mean, it just get her done, as Larry the Cable Guy would say. Maybe the first time I've ever said that in my life.
I know.
But I was listening to Sirius Radio on my on all of my drives.
You can tell we got a new car because we got 3 months free.
Get her done. So it's been a while since I'd heard that. What advice do you have for someone who is feeling overwhelmed by adultitis? No matter what is happening or what you are facing, rather than asking, how can I handle this? Or how am I going to get through this? Ask instead, how can I play through this? I love that. Let me say it again. Instead of asking, how can I handle this? How am I going to get through this? Ask, how can I play through this? And it sort of reminds me a little ways about how we talk about, now that this has happened, what does this make possible?
Yeah.
Right? Whenever something challenging happens, and we've turned it into a bit of a game where it's sort of like a challenge to figure out. Okay, I'm gonna find. It's like an I Spy. Like I'm going to spy.
You were doing that
the
today
good
during
thing
lunch.
that comes out of this.
He's sharing some challenges he's having with some technology, trying to figure out if there's a way to take that challenge and use it as an opportunity. And we were kind of playing with that.
Yeah.
It kind of shifted from frustration of like, oh, why isn't this
possibility.
working? To like, okay, well, maybe there's something cool that could come out of it.
Yeah. So love this picture of Sharon with her big teddy. That is had to show that one too. So Sharon, thank you so much for all of your contributions to our community. She is Wonder and Whimsy Society member. She has been around here for a long time.
Yes.
And really appreciate having your spirit and perspective to encourage us. So
Sharon, you embody the pledge of wonder and whimsy. You are constantly seeking wonder and spreading whimsy. And we're just so grateful to have you as part of our community. So congratulations, Sharon. Yay!
all right, you guys, we've got a fun question today, talking about cars a little bit. If you could buy a car in any color or pattern, what would it be? Or pattern. Any color or pattern, combination of colors. Let us know. Enter your comment in the chat. You have a chance to win. What do you have a chance to win, Kim?
Well, we do have these fabulous, comfortable, soft gift cards to the lemonade stand. And yeah, I've been actually on the lemonade stand recently. I don't do a lot of shopping on our own lemonade stand, but I was on there pulling some links for a client who's going to be using the artwork on some gifts. And there's some really cool stuff on there. I was like, oh, I know.
Is there? That's good to know.
Oh, that's a cool shirt and water bottles. And I mean, why don't I own some of this? That's
well, now you do. I ordered you a shirt today that you wanted, so
thank you.
You got that taken care of.
All right.
Yeah. So what do we got here? We got some coming in here. Pink Daisy with light blue background.
Aw,
Love
that
how
would be
specific
cool.
that is.
That'd be awesome.
Megan, pink polka dots.
Nice.
Got checkerboard.
Oh,
Checkerboard for Martha. How about that? Stephen wants his to be the night bus.
Oh, man. With that head.
Cool. With the shrunken head. How about peacock feathers?
Ooh,
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Ellen. I like that.
Sharon in on the tie-dye. That's shocking to me.
I
that she
love
would
that
want tie-dye.
idea. I love that.
And Kate, very specific. 90s a Volvo wagon in black watch plaid.
Ooh. That's cool.
That is pretty cool.
I have to really think about that
like
one.
Argyle. Think of like different like Scottish
Rain-
tartan kind of patterns would be kind of interesting. Rainbow swirls.
Ooh, that's cool.
Blue Ocean from Deb.
Nice.
How about Calico Cats?
Oh, that's
Calico
cool.
Cat. Scott. Hey, Scott. 1968 VW bus.
Ooh, that
Can't
fits
go wrong
you,
with
Scott.
that.
Doesn't that?
It
That
does.
just fits
Although
you.
it's a little late. It's a little late for the mid-century modern.
True.
So it's
that's true, but it's got its own like flair.
Yeah, Scott is a friend of ours who is an amazing artist.
Yes.
That does really cool art inspired by 1950s mid-century modern artwork.
He's
an
website
animator.
in the comments, Scott, if you could. That would be awesome.
People to check out your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Christy with tiger stripes. I was wondering if anyone would pull that out because I thought the tiger
cheetah, tiger,
zebra would be pretty rad.
Yes.
Heather, a light yellow car with flowers growing out of the bottom.
Oh, that's a cool idea. I love that.
Nicole should just take neon green or bright orange.
Those are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're hard to find.
Rainbow zigzag with clouds, flowers, butterflies, bees, birds, and sunshine.
Oh, there's an and. I love that. Amy is the queen of the and, right? Add another
penguins, just penguins. Just like penguins everywhere.
Are you with me, Jenna?
Yeah.
Tracy.
And
I want to know from Tracy, I saw your comment earlier, but I didn't get to read it all. Did you have a red convertible or that's your dream car? Because I saw some other text in there, but it was moving too fast for me to be able to capture it all. So I want to know
this
that.
night sky midnight blue with glow-in-the-dark stars all over.
Ooh, Brooke.
I like that.
Sure.
I like that little twist.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That would be really cool. The glow
Paisleys.
Nice.
I like Paisleys.
Mm-hmm.
How about Mary Beth? Something Star Wars. Probably make it look like the Death Star.
Your new favorite comment.
Yeah.
Mary Beth.
That's
awesome.
Scott, blue with white racing stripes. Ford for life.
Nice. Scott, he gets to cheers Sharon tonight, doesn't he? I'm jealous of you, Scott. Cheers for me, okay? For both of you guys.
Yeah, he gets to do it in person to cheers. Hopefully he's got something to cheers her with.
Cheers.
Let's see, what else we got? Ocean waves across the sign.
That would be cool.
Dark blue with lines that make it look like the TARDIS from Doctor Who.
I think Steven's going to approve of that. That's cool, Mary.
This would be Linda, but it's certainly Walt. He wants the van from Dumb and Dumber. Shaggin' Wagon. Chicks dig it.
I think we're going to
that's another thing. Can you get fur?
Can you get
We talked about color, patterns. What about fur? Faux fur?
Faux fur.
Right?
Or real fur.
It gets gross in the rain.
Does anyone else love Dumb and Dumber as much as we do? Because we really do. I think it was our age, like when we graduated and when that movie came out, it was the funniest movie to us. Yeah. Right? I mean, admittedly, we should be embarrassed.
I think it holds up. Mike Schroeder, Little Red Corvette.
That would be sweet.
Why don't we go with the Mystery Machine?
Oh, we saw the Mystery Machine during the summit.
Yes, we did.
That was rad. It was just in Sheboygan. And all of the summit attendees were us Adultitis Fighters. We're like, the Mystery Machine is here.
Tracy saw the Shaggin' Wagon in the flesh.
What?
Pretty cool. I don't want to. Those words shouldn't go together. I saw the Shaggin' Wagon in the flesh. Okay.
Thank you for that, Tracy. We appreciate that.
10 quesadillas. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car that flies and floats.
Rhonda.
There you go, Rhonda.
There
we go.
That would be awesome.
Like you guys were talking about. Tracy saw it at the summit when we were eating ice cream.
I know. Was it like there was like this meta thing?
The Mystery Machine, not the Shaggin' Wagon.
No, right.
Yeah.
But like we were totally like we're with Adultitis Fighters and we're looking at the Mystery Machine. Like, is that meta? Is that the definition of meta? I don't know. What is meta? I don't know.
Let's tune in next week for Ask K&J, a special edition of Ask Jason. All right, you guys. Thank you for playing. You can keep those coming in. We'll pick a winner at the end of the show. Last week, well, not last week, but the week before when we did this, Lynn Major was the winner. So we were able to track her down and get her work.
I know where Lynn lives. And by the way, speaking of Wonder Whimsy, which we're not, but she is. But so if you are in the Wonder Whimsy Society, and especially if you're a brand new member, tomorrow night is our opening ceremony for this brand new group. But anyone from the Wonder Whimsy Society can join us. So make sure you find that Zoom link in the league group, the private group for Wonder Whimsy. So it's going to be fun. We always do some special stuff on the opening ceremony. We may be a little bedazzled.
Oh, man.
Dig that out. You know what I'm talking about?
All right, well, we'll see. We'll see.
So we'll see what we can find in our box of treasures.
In the flesh.
Oh! Should I be that repulsed? Was that over the top?
That's what I'm talking about.
That was a...
I guess I did.
Yeah, baby.
So
anyway.
Tomorrow night isn't going to be anything
my
like
wine's
that.
Gone.
Yeah.
I know.
Surprise. Okay.
Anywho,
Done.
we have gone off the rails. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
In the flesh, baby, Tracy says.
We are excited to welcome. We had 70 new people jump onto Wonder and Whimsy this time around. The doors are closed for another year, but if you want to be in the know of all the things we have going on, I am busy at work on the 2022 Celebrate Everything calendar.
Oh, yeah.
It is, again, going to be a limited edition calendar. When we sell out, we sell out. So when you want to know when it is finally available, which will be fairly soon, be an insider. That's the best place to know when we have new things going on. So, and when the talk from Las Vegas that we discussed earlier, when that is available to the public, that'll go to the insiders as well. So
I think Jenna's trying to tell us to leave.
Good night. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Yeah.
It's like, wrap this up, Kim and Jason.
Keep it going. We got stuff to do. So yes, please, if you're interested in that, if you're not already an insider, please do that. But as Jenna reminds us, that is it for this show. Until next time, Adultitis Fighters.
Shine on, spread whimsy, and keep being awesome.